This may very well be the rarest Harley-Davidson we've ever had in. This is the Harley-Davidson V-Rod. Now, it's not just any V-Rod. This is the CVO Screamin Eagle, coolest V-Rod out there. Now, the V-Rod, since it came out, it's kind of been the redheaded stepchild of the Harley-Davidson family. I apologize to my wife, who was actually a redheaded stepchild. But if you're getting compared to this, that's pretty cool, because eventually, now it took about a decade, but eventually the Harley guys actually started liking them. It wasn't until the last Harley guy was finally like, you know what? I like that V-Rod. A year later, they stopped making them. I have no idea why. But this is the CVO V-Rod. And if the V-Rod itself, the normal V-Rod, was not bad enough and tough enough for you, when the custom vehicles operations gets their hands on one, they turn it into a bona fide monster. The CVO team made over 50 changes to the V-Rod for it to be able to put the CVO badge on top of it. 50 changes. Taking the price tag from $16,000 to $26,500. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking $10,000 more just for the CVO badge and for the other modifications. First of all, they put a lot of stuff into it. For you to make that changes yourself, for you to put the bigger engine and all the changes that they've done to it, would cost you well over $20,000 to do that stuff. The other point is, it's not 2006 anymore. You're not buying it brand new. You can't buy this thing brand new. It's 2020, and the price is going up. It's worth even more now. No, I'm just kidding. It's not worth even more. It's not worth more. But let's go in and let's look at all the cool changes that they've actually done to the bike. It's pretty extensive. They went from a 1130cc motor to a 1250 big bore motor. They relocated the ignition switch. They added a push button for the seat where the gas tank is located. They added a CVO tachometer. Now this specific bike has a shift light. Didn't come factory, but it's awesome. 1 1/4 inch bars that all the lines are ran through, so you don't see any extra lines that you don't need to see. A 240 rear tire, which is ginormous. Now in 2005, you were able to get a custom kit to put a 240 back tire on your V-Rod. But to get that done would be over $2,500. This comes stock. Heavy duty clutch, Brembo brakes, stronger, thicker drive belt, LED fuel gauge on the tank. What none of the other bikes had, and possibly the coolest thing about this bike, is this awesome steampunk style headlight. It's got these fins. It really kind of makes the bike. And the list goes on and on and on. Mostly chrome stuff, but it really is a big value for your buck. So while I was doing research on trying to figure out what we were going to price this bike out for, I noticed something. I saw red ones, I saw orange ones, and I saw yellow ones. None of them with black frames, none of them with black tanks. And I started doing a little more research. I'm like, that's a little peculiar, but that was what was for sale. Let me just look up Google Images. I could not find a black one. I started digging in. I contacted some Harley dealerships. They never heard of a black one. There's no way it's a custom black painted bike, because this is clearly a CVO tank. This is not like a sticker put on top of it. This is all under the clear coat. It gets pretty obvious. No one would have torn the whole bike down to paint the frame and re-put the VIN stickers back on if you look on the other side. This might be one of the rarest Harley-Davidsons I've ever owned, and we just kind of stumbled upon it. I currently have a friend of mine over at Appalachian Harley-Davidson, Joe. He's actually looking into it for me. He's going to do some research on the VIN to see, how this bike actually came about. I can't wait. Let's go take it for a spin. All right, guys, before we test drive this motorcycle, let's do the words of wisdom. The Lord is not slow about his promise, as some count slowness, but is patient towards you, not wishing for any to perish, but for all to come to repentance. 2 Peter 3:9. Guys, I'm pumped about riding this bike. I love the V-Rods. This is a cool little digital tachometer slash shift light. I would assume it comes on 9,000. This thing has a 9,000. Does it really have a 9,000 RPM red line? I like these bikes. I like the smoothness of them. I like how they feel. In a way, the Breakout kind of replaced the V-Rod. But hey, let's be honest. You really can't replace the V-Rod. There is no replacement for V-placement. Breakout is a cool bike though. Now, even though it has a big old 240 back tire, it actually handles pretty well. It does not feel sluggish in the corners, which I totally expected it to. Let's punch it. It just instantly hits the red limit. I wonder if this thing goes yellow and then goes red. I wish I had a little more information about that thing. Maybe I should look it up. Oh, it's actually a Screamin Eagle part from the Screamin Eagle catalog. So I do think that thing on the front, that steampunk style, they actually took off it's a whole new headlight. That's not a thing that went on top of the stock headlight. I kind of always thought the stock headlight looked ugly. I think that looks cool. I think that makes this bike just incredibly cool. I wish I had a few more little accents that kind of like connected with that. Maybe if all the chrome was like a bronze color, I think that'd be cool. But that's a pretty big endeavor, and that's probably pretty expensive. It really is a cool bike. And part of me is thinking, and I know I say this all the time, but part of me is thinking like, man, I'll just keep it for myself. Like, there is no other. Tell me if you found one, please let me know. But there is no other black. If you actually have any history on this bike, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. But there is no other black CVO Screamin Eagle V-Rod in existence in the world. I bet you, I didn't go to the red line, but I bet you if I do it, that shift light turns red. Love the way these bikes feel though. The point of that shift light is, okay, nothing, and then, okay, it's yellow. It's easier to see. You kind of notice the yellow, and then the shift from yellow to red is you notice that shift, and bam, that's when you shift. I mean, this bike really was made to be pretty close to a drag racing bike that's kind of street legal. It instantly became the motorcycle, it instantly became the Harley-Davidson. That if you were drag racing a Harley, you were drag racing a V-Rod, which really kind of legitimized the water-cooled Harley-Davidson, where so many people are like, oh, water-cooled, it's dumb, you know? But then it's like, it's the fastest Harley-Davidson out there. How dumb can it be? It's the fastest Harley-Davidson. It's got very aggressive, very unique ergonomics. I actually feel pretty comfortable in this position. The top part of me is kind of like a sport bike, where I'm kind of, I'm leaning over a little bit. But then the bottom part of me is like a cruiser bike, where my feet are way out in front of my legs. It's got pegs, your feet are fairly high up. You feel like you could get pretty low, not crazy low, but you know, it's not like a bike with floorboards where every time you take a turn, you're like grinding down your, you know, the wear item that we call floorboards. What a fun bike. I love how the CVO bike, just everything is chrome. Not just some stuff, not just like chrome this on top of, you know, non-chrome. Just, it's all chrome. It's super cool. It looks good together. This exhaust sounds amazing. Let's do this. I think that I could hit 60 in first gear. I shifted too soon. I could have done a much better job at that. And my start was slow, so slow. You know what I think? I wonder if you can change that to come on at a different time. I don't know, I mean, because honestly, I'm in top gear. You could be cruising
You could be cruising the speed limit at some areas in the country, and the shift light comes on. I love the way this bike feels. This is cool. Down here, it's kind of hard to see. You gotta kind of lean down to actually see that full gauge. It's facing like my stomach, like my navel has a great view of that. But you have a little clock. You've got your little gas gauge, digital gas gauge. Very handy. Very, very handy. The cool thing about the V-Rod is it's such a great top-end bike. I can kind of go drop down a little gear. I'm cruising on the highway. We're going the speed limit, and then you realize that the speed limit changed, and everyone's going faster, and then you let it loose, and it just always has that big power for you to get up to the speed limit, to make sure that you're not going too slow to be dangerous, which is less than the speed limit. Alright guys, that wraps it up. I'm super pumped about this bike. This bike is for sale along with like 80 other motorcycles at Srkcycles.com. Sometimes we might have more bikes than what we actually have on the website, but we're working on it. We're getting them on there. It's gonna be awesome. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe, and also check out this other video of another amazing motorcycle that I also geeked out about and really enjoyed riding. We'll see you guys later. Yeah! Speed limit.